This is example 1 of lesson 2.5, which is called Simplifying Algebraic Expressions. In front of us here we have an algebraic expression, that is 3x plus 7. 3x plus 7 is an algebraic expression, not an equation, because it contains both numbers and variables. Variables, as we know, are numbers or letters that stand in for numbers. We don't know what x is. We do not need to know what x is here. What x is does not matter because it's not an equation. There's no equal sign. We're not trying to find x. We can put whatever we want in for x right now. It does not matter what x is unless you have an equal sign and a value on the other side. Now that I've passed that minor rant, let's talk about what each of these tiny bits of an expression are called, because each one has its own special name. Let's start from the left. On the left here, we have a lovely 3. It's red, so I'm going to write in red. What is 3? The 3 is called a coefficient. Coefficient. A coefficient. That is a number that is being multiplied, which is what happens when you have a number and a letter smushed together like that. A number that is being multiplied by a variable, that is stuck to a variable like that, like the 3 is called a coefficient. And it doesn't matter if it's 3x or 14x or 13y or 0.7m. All of these, 0.7, 13, 14, are coefficients. Now, what is x? We've been talking about x for a while now. We know that x is a variable, which does not start with C, Goosens. Variable. That is a letter that stands in for a number. A variable could be any letter of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. Any letter can be used as a variable. Like here, I've used X, Y, and M. These are, and I'm having this trouble again, these are my variables. Now, the plus sign has a fancy name. It's called an operator. I'm not going to write that down because it's not terribly important right now, but it's an operator. So if I ever say, what's our operator? You know, I mean an operation. You know the 4 operations. X plus is an operator. And last but not least, certainly, we have 7. 7 is what is called a constant. Constant. It's called a constant because it is constant. It does not change. 7 is going to stay 7. It's not getting multiplied by anything. It's not being divided by anything. It is just sitting there as a constant. It's not going to change until we need it to, unless we have an equal sign. 7 is just going to sit there being 7. It's a constant. Each of these things, all of these things, 3x and 7, specifically, let me just put little boxes around the 3x and the 7, are called terms. These are called terms. 3 is a coefficient, 3x is a term, 7 is a constant, it's also a term. And we can, if we need to, combine like terms. Like terms means terms that have the same variable. Terms that have the same variable. If you have like terms, you have the same letter. So let's look at some of these and see which ones are like terms. We need to look not at the coefficient. We're not looking at the coefficient. We're looking at the variable. When we are combining like terms, we need to see which terms have the same variable. So let's look. In purple, I'm going to circle or square box 6x. Now, which of these other terms has the same variable? Well, it's the x. X, or 1x if you prefer. Okay, let's look at this one. 2y, I'll circle that one in red. 2y has the same variable as 14y. So these are like terms. Looking at the 3m, well, 3m is the same as, yes, you guessed it, 3m. They are like terms. They have the same variable. They have the same coefficient too, but that doesn't matter. And last but not least, what if we have no variable? Well, those are still like terms. You can combine constants. Constants are all like terms. If you have no variable,